Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to Anno 1800. Now in the last episode, we were all about them tapestries, sorting out the production chain from top to bottom to guaranteed delivery to our investors globally, who needed it as part of their lifestyle needs. Imagine needing tapestries to live your life. Anyway, today, we're working on something very particular indeed, perfume and fans. A nightmarish production chain heavily involving the New World Rising DLC, of course. Let's check it out. So, as we can see with the current status on the investors, we've delivered everything of their basic needs, we've delivered everything of their happiness needs, and now we're into the lifestyle. We're into wealth. We finished it. Furs, bear fur, and tapestries. It was like pulling teeth, but it's done. And hopefully set forever. Not for now, forever, believe it or not. Anyway, we're on to Delight, which is perfumes, fans, and then also the coveted film reels. I don't even want to know what he's doing with those. Now, don't even talk to me about mail before we get to that. Anyways, a little bit of time has passed since the previous episode. I've been researching a couple of things in the Institute. Oh, they're actually done. I was getting 3 different things for orchards. We're going to be utilizing orchards a little bit more in the New World. So, in between episodes, I'd reorganized this area just slightly because it's getting quite messy. But it's still all temporary. A lot of it's going to change around. Like, what's there isn't temporary, but where it is, if that makes sense, right? We want to move it around, make it look a little bit more natural, so the place looks a little nicer. But for now, it does just have to go into as many big blocks as it can, so I can kind of feel out the production chain, see what we need, and then we can beauty build once we've got everything locked in. So in between episodes, what I ended up doing was checking every island to see what all the different orchards produce. So orchards, for those who don't know, came from the tourism DLC. I want to say season 3, but it's utilized in this DLC to some extent. I'm guessing there's probably other ways around. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I digress. I'm not talking about orchids, we're talking about orchards. So if we look into perfume here and something like coconut oil, on all my various New World islands, I had orchards dotted around them, all making different things, and I typically just put one down whenever I needed something, and I didn't really have a very uniform way of building them. So I've kind of consolidated my orchards now to all make the same thing as much as possible when they're on a particular island. So for instance, the island here of Guadalmina, you can actually kind of still see they had trees from all these different types of orchards before, and they're actually slowly getting knocked and replaced with the ones that they need. So now we're making coconut oil in all of the orchards here, just all of them. So it's a lot easier for me to go find them. And the basic way I did this was I just looked at all islands, filtered to agricultural products, searched the 4 different things that you can get from orchards. So we have coconut oil, we now have more than we need. Cinnamon, little short on this one, so someone's going to have to change, but we're not dealing with that right now. Or we could just place down new ones, of course. Citrus, which actually comes as a byproduct from certain other orchard items. And then the last one is camphor wax. We got enough of that as well. Now, the bar is sort of, grayed out or whatever because a lot of these places aren't producing because they are just totally full. That's fine. They'll just be sorted out in the future, but we're tackling one thing at a time, and right now it's coconut oil. So I think I've actually even gone ahead and sorted out the trade route for that in between episodes just once I'd gotten it running. It'll just be in the New World here. Delivery of coconut oil. Yeah, so we're only producing it now in 2 islands. It is heavily in abundance on Marbella, although we don't actually make it there anymore, so there's really no point in, us doing anything with that. We'll just leave it full. Maybe it'll be used someday, I don't know. Right, so the plan, I've got a couple plans of action here. One of the things was that the hot sauce breweries that we have, that we set up a few episodes ago, was very temporary because I was trying to solve a problem in the Arctic, which was down on this island, the island of Crater Lake. I wanted to deliver hot sauce so we could get a few extra explorers out of the place. It worked great because we got loads, got way more than I even need. This kind of thing makes me want to delete. A great thing you can do in the Arctic, which I've shown before in different episodes. By the way, we just hit a new milestone, 148. Haven't hit that before. We're actually gaining. Is that on the glaciers, when I was building them up the first time, I realized, hey, we've got extra workforce, and we really don't need them. So once you get it up to the point of where it's like 300, 400, whatever, start deleting houses. Why wouldn't you? They're only extra mouths to feed. And this, you're tight for resources in the Arctic. At least I am. So I feel like that kind of thing is a perfect way to trim the fat, as it were. So once you start delivering lifestyle and a few other things, then I'm like, well, just get rid of all this excess workforce if they're not going to be put to use. They may be in future for now, but in future for now. when the for nows get crazy. Yeah, they may be used in future, so we'll leave them for now, right? That's kind of what I meant by that. Anyways, I digress. Hot sauce. We've stopped production altogether now. So let's have a look globally just really quickly what we need for that. So hot sauce. 12 tons per minute apparently is what's being consumed globally. Wow, I thought it was a lot more than that. 12 doesn't seem too bad. So do we only get... Is this every 2 minutes? No, it's every 1 minute. We only need 12 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4... No, I guess so. Right, so we need 12 of them. I mean, honestly, we probably need a little bit more just to be safe. So, I was looking at items. What can I do to really boost this place? And then I just recently had to put down all these perfume places as well. Now, we have enough ethanol, I think, enough orchid, and enough coconut oil, so it was really just a matter of, well, we need a bunch of these buildings. They take 150 artistas each. We have plenty, so not a problem there. But I was looking through the items, and I couldn't find anything that affected hot sauce or affected the perfume mixers directly themselves. But I did find some general items, and we'll just move them over now. So item transfer, we need to go to the old world, I think. Access our newly built airport. And then transfer over a couple of the items I have in reserve. So one of them was a bell that I actually just had here anyway. This is going to reduce the workforce by 50%. So I'm struggling with Jornaleros. Now we could always get a few more, but if we can use some items, we best do that. The other one was... what was it now? Oh yeah. It's in Cape Trelawney. That's why we're looking here. It was a workforce reduction of 50% again, but this time coming from the... There it is. The Human Incarnate. So these are obviously crafted. If you have the Sunken Treasures DLC, you can craft them with Old Nate by delivering, I think it's filaments, work clothes, light bulbs, and special scrap? I think that's what it is. Anyway, so doubling this to 50%, I'm pretty sure that means we won't be paying any worker at all. And if you're not dealing with any workers, then you don't really need to boost productivity, but we could do that anyway. I've got Ferris Al Sarami over there in the New World, so we'll use him as well. So, in theory, right, if you don't need workers, you could just put more and more buildings down. You don't necessarily need the bottleneck of having to overclock them by increasing productivity. But we'll do that as well, because I don't know if a trade union can really encapsulate it more than the 12 or so we have, so let's see how that works. So I was thinking maybe we just do it out here. Again, temporarily. Maybe we'll figure out somewhere else for this to go in the future. Yeah. Oh yeah, so I didn't mention, in redoing this area a little bit, I just moved the animal farms out this way. They're encapsulated now by a Hacienda fertilizer works, so they're collecting more dung, which is good, and they're producing some extra fertilizer than we were before, so that's kind of nice. They do stay at 100%. A perfect productivity says 60%. Why is that? Surely it's 100, right? I guess I can't quite remember if this goes over 100, the more farms are in it. I think they do, right? It's hard to remember if that's the way this operates or not. Yeah. Oh, no. Base productivity, 100%. Perfect productivity is with Ferris. We get an extra 50 here. Yeah, I can barely remember. Let's check it out. I'm kind of curious. It's now a resource that boosts the output of all crop farms. To use it on a farm, construct the appropriate module. To acquire fertilizer, you must construct animal farms within the radius of a Hacienda fertilizer module. The animal farms will provide dung, which is required to make fertilizer in the fertilizer works. The fertilizer resource will then be transported to your warehouse. From there, you can use it on your island's farms or transport it to other islands. Right, so it's... yeah, that's different. It's funny going back to it. So it does collect dung based on the amount that are in the circle. Yeah? It seems that way. But it still only produces the fertilizer based on how many buildings there are. That's quite strange. But I guess that's the way it is. So you could have some of these off somewhere, just in a line, not actually providing any dung, not getting any dung, but just processing the dung that's being made by these ones, right? I think that's how that works. Sorry that I don't know, but I think that's how it works. Because I guess the very last thing I could check is dung, right? Yeah, we make 21 dung. I don't think we make 21 fertilizer. No, we make 17. Yeah, I guess I'm right then. Okay, cool. Anyway, good to know. Hard to remember these things sometimes. Anyways, so long story short, we're collecting more dung just by putting these around near here. But again, they might move in future. So let's just get the ball rolling. Let's actually move these hot sauce factories together and then see if my little plan here is going to work by removing the workforce entirely. I've certainly done it with farms before where the workforce goes down to either 1 or maybe 0. So I think it is possible. In fact, we can do it in a big group like that. Bring it down a little further. Let's try this. So there's 12 right there. And with Ferris, we get an extra 50% out of them. And we're going to need a new trade union. Oh, yep. It actually fits all of them. That's good. Right there. If we came down one, we wouldn't get them all. So that's actually perfect. Perfect placement. Okay, so we've got Ferris waiting on the airship. Sorry, not Ferris. Human incarnate. We have the loud bell, which a worker's gift just in case you have to wake up. We could be a bunch of sleepyheads sometimes. I'm not sure how that works, but okay. And then Ferris, there he is. The Persuader. So my theory is that we're still lacking the workforce even without this on, but we should turn all of these on now and see no change. Yes, it worked. And we're getting 150%. So in theory, now if we go up and look at hot sauce, boom, we're making 15 over 12, more than we need, which is what we like to do. All right, cool. So with that in mind, I don't need this for... I think I should save this area in case I'm ever tight for certain workers. Then I'll throw down the buildings in here instead, especially if I can't find any items that specifically tailor to those production chains. Lately, I've liked to kind of experiment with the items and go like, oh, I've got cloth industry in Embesa. I'm going to choose all cloth industry items. Even if Ferris is just better than some of them, it's still kind of fun to just experiment and play around with the actual items design, you know, kind of designed to do what they're supposed to do. I like that anyway. All right, so long story short, we'll leave the perfume where it is. They're all operational now, but they're not actually sending anything. So the last thing I need to check is ethanol production. I have a feeling that we're probably consuming a bit too much. It's 56 to 56. We're right on the edge. Well, I'm happy enough with that then. In Crown Farms, some of them aren't producing because they're producing beer, and unless the beer is flowing, they do not produce ethanol. Oh yeah, I did write this down in my notepad in the last episode actually, so I'll just write down beer dash arrow to ethanol, and just like an exclamation point. I'll know what that means, I think. Saying like beer to ethanol, I'd be like, what does that mean? And then I'll just write Crown Farms. Okay, cool. Alright, so now I'll know that there's a dependency here. Okay, well, let's just assume ethanol is fine and the beer will keep flowing in the future. We'll have to do something to make sure about that, but for now, it should be fine. Right, well, in that case, we have Perfume. And good news about Perfume. In fact, sorry I keep hopping between sessions. I'll do that in just 1 second. Let's just set up the route, and then we'll jump back. So we want to go from the New World here at Manola. Pick up the Perfume, which is just a regular consumable. I'm so sorry that I clicked it the way I did. Now, why do we have 2 ships in the Arctic delivering wood? Oh, yeah. The Grey Goblin. You're the perfect man for it. We'll just get rid of that. I'll just hit accept on this for a second. Just get that sugar off the ship. Alright. So, you're from Manola, and you're going to go to the Old World, and we're going to go to Lusk. Yes. And then unload, please. And that is New World to Old World. And that is a New World export. Perfume. Alright, let the ship play. Accept. Is that working now? I hope so.
Hold the crane.
Great. So that's a ship delivering perfume to the Old World. But then we need to actually deliver it to Cape Trelawney and also Swords. Those are the 2 places that also have investors. And this one's going to be weird because it also goes to tourists. I think I've got tourists on Rush. I don't think I've got them anywhere else. So let's go perfumes. Load them up. Unload and unload. So I'll turn one of these off. So we just unload a little bit at Rush. Just one of the categories, just in case. And we'll set it to be any ships that are sitting here in the Old World. Yep. Alright, cool. So let's just say that's an old world only route. And that's delivery. Perfume. Whoops. Perfume. Great. And that's all it needs to do. Just double check it. Picking it up at Lusk, delivering to Swords, delivering to Rush, and a little extra to go to Rush just afterwards in case it didn't. Okay. Then the last one is just to bring it to Cape Trelawney. So again, Lusk to Cape Trelawney. And again, load up Perfume, full ship, please. And that's to go to the investors. There's no tourists there. Yep, Cape to Old World. It's an import. It's Perfume. All right, see you later. What else? In between episodes, I was checking on a few of those trade routes because we've obviously built over the last like 5 episodes. I've made maybe 50 trade routes. It's pretty crazy, and there's always been just a couple little mistakes on a few of them. So I was just checking a few things. I think filaments wasn't really coming from Lusk anymore, but now it is. So light bulb production is regained and gone back up. So there's just a few little in between things that I had to check out and make sure it was running okay. Everything's looking good. We've good workforce. Artisans are arguably a little low. Are they still getting their paper from a long time ago? They are. They have their crafts. Their arts and crafts. Delight. Oh, look who needs perfume. Artisans. I did not know. Good to check. So, that means that investors require perfume as a lifestyle. Tourists require it as a... Oh, we're out of jewelry. I'll check on that. So yeah, tourists. And then we've got artisans here. No artisans on this island. None on this one. There's a tiny bit on this one, I think. Now, lifestyle is an interesting system in some ways because it's not gated by how many people you have. So it doesn't matter if we don't need fur coats here or a university. There's not enough of them. But it's not true for lifestyle. They need everything. Okay, let's just modify that route then really quickly. Perfume, the old world delivery route for Perfume. So it's just one other island that has these guys on it. So let's take that one away from Swords, take that one away from there. And that way we've got a bit more of a staggered approach. Off you go. Now, what did I say? I was going to check jewelry, right? So let's just check on that. Jewel. Alright, there's the delivery route. We're delivering 300 at a time. The ship is the one doing it. I honestly think you should probably wait, but maybe before I click that, let's just check. So, Cape to the Old World. This is where we make our jewelry in Cape Trelawney. And we have 786, and there's just one ship doing it, and it's arriving now. There's your problem. I think the consumption rate is far too great for one ship to be going back and forth like this. So what we're going to do is we'll hop up here to the Arctic. I'm going to dump the wood.
Reporting in.
Alright, and now we've freed up 2 ships that can get on this route and do a proper job of it. So yeah, Cape to Old World. So I just freed up 2, you and you. And you can be paused. In fact, get off the route, because you're empty anyway. Alright, so we put 2 ships on it, and they should be faster at going intercession. However, they don't have any items on them, and that ship did have 2 items on it. So, we'll see. Should be fine. Might need another one, but should be fine. Alright, so yeah, the items it had was movement speed 25%, cargo slowdown negative 100, cargo slowdown negative 50, movement speed 15. I think it's probably not a good idea to have those 2 on one ship. It's probably good to have one with something like a propeller or jet engine or whatever it is, and then the other one is for loading speed, is usually a good one to have, so just divide that up a bit. So yeah, this guy's 75% on loading speed. So now this ship is a beast, right? It moves fast, it doesn't even feel the weight it's carrying, and it loads 75% faster, so that's a good one to have. Crown Farms Company. Alright, so that should be another problem solved. That's Perfume. I think pretty much done. Pretty happy about that. That wasn't too bad. Last thing I guess I'd check is just to make sure that I'm guessing nobody in base needs it.
A letter from my son already.
Hey, they have their orchid. That's cool.
Sun, rain, wind. These are the true riches.
You don't have much dried meat? Are you kidding me? You've only got 1? Well, we produce enough Tabarim is not producing any in its kitchens because... Well, that's seafood stew. What did I just look up? Dried meat. Click. Oh, it produces it as a byproduct. It must do. Must do. And then a dry house. Oh, yeah. Instead of lobster, the building processes Sanga cow. Not enough Sanga cow. I really shouldn't be doing this now, but I'm just kind of curious. Oh yeah, we used to have a bunch of these, and I got rid of them all in my large destruction. There's still some room out here though, so I feel like why not just slam them down if we have the workforce. Just keep that ball rolling for a while. Let's not be lazy about it. Let's just do it properly. So, Sanga cow. I was confused for a second why it's a radius, but yeah.
There is tea by the door if you want.
Okay, and then one. So I don't know. Maybe do this just like a couple more times. Can that move up? Yeah. Because I want the road to be here. All right. Damn, what a shame. It actually does fit there. Probably look a bit weird. These are probably going to change in the future. I know I said do it right. I'll probably do them in a line like this. I really like that. The way they just fit across the road with a canal running through. But I just want to get the number right, and then we can do more. So that one has everything it needs, right? It's 5 out of 5? Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see if these can fit in anywhere. It's not going to fit in there. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so ugly. 4 and 5. Alright, let's leave it at that and see if that's going to be okay. And we'll just put down a warehouse. We're at 16 under 19, so you need one more basically, and then you're good to go. Alright, so the last one I guess could just go over here. Oh, just realized there's no road for them. Alright, 1, 2, and can't fit that one there. I guess you can fit in here somewhere. You can fit there, and you can fit there. Alright, cool. Alright, done. So that's enough for those guys. Just to keep that rolling, the Sanga cow, and then therefore the dried meat, and therefore just keeping the population just a little bit higher for a while. Alright, a little bit bogged down with that. Let's go back to the New World, keep working on the next thing. So that was Perfume. Perfume seems to be everywhere. Just trying to think. So that was artisans, tourists, and investors that required it. One thing I didn't check was, do engineers need it?
My analysis is positive.
No, but they need shampoo. Close, but not the same. Alright, no problem then. I think that's everything. And then for these guys, it's just artistas that require it. I don't think obreros need it as like a secondary or anything. No. They do want... Wow, I've actually delivered a lot of their stuff too. Okay, so next up then was fans. So this one's really difficult. Fans is a crazy production chain. One at least good thing is we've already got some of these components. But I guess we'll have to scale it all up. So... how many do we have on the island? Just one, apparently. Just the one. And how many do we need? Please just tell me I don't need any more. How nice would that be? Oh my god. We're making 2 over 12. 12. 12 tons per minute of this. Oh, god damn. Alright. Lot of artistas. That's a lot of obreros, actually, that one. That one might be good to put the motor assembly plants in over by this area where we don't have to pay for a workforce. And we get a little boost out of them. Then they'll need their cable factory as well. Yeah, that's a lot of obreros. I can feel that. So, yeah, let's just start. Because we have a lot of artistas, I think having just 5 of these is totally fine. So we've got 1 right now. And that was 2. So we need 5 more. So they're going to be a little group.
Come join us.
So what are we missing? We're missing reinforced concrete. How strange. Reinforced concrete. Well, we can make a manual delivery from Lusk. There's a lot down here. I assume so. Anyway, I haven't really seen reinforced concrete. Yeah, it's full up. Good. Okay. I'm trying to think, what else could I maybe bring with me that they might need over there? They have quite a lot of all the other resources. They just don't really have reinforced concrete. And I think that's because of my kind of construction route. I just didn't load it. Yeah. Alright, so they got everything else then. And wood has come up tremendously in that time as well, which is good. Alright, 2 batches of RC, please.
Only I'm reporting in.
So something I did in the last in between episodes as well was I exchanged gramophones for gold ore. So 151 gramophones. I wonder, is that going to be too much for the gold ore that we're probably going to need? The gold ore is needed for the jewelry. It needs to fill up, make a few transactions to completely fill up Cape Trelawney and this island, and then we'll get the true number. But that seems probably right. That's probably about 600. So we'll have to exchange something for gold ore, just not too sure what just yet. Alright, so we're getting our reinforced concrete, but at least we can work out what this is going to need. So we just know that... Oh my god, the industry is actually going to get crazy, isn't it? We're going to need so much for this. I might have to just speed up time until it arrives, because it's going to be too hard to gauge what's needed until I do that. Motor assembly plant, though. Well, actually, I can work this out based on what's here. So we have 2. And I'm going to go up to 6, so that's easy enough to do. Yeah, so I need 6 more. Like, I'm making 4 with 2 buildings. And by adding another 4 buildings, we should have 12, and that'll be even. Keeping it really close though. You know, you arguably probably need 1 extra, just in case the investors grow and need a bit more or something. Maybe. That's a tough one, though. I'll probably... It's tough. Putting it in a trade union, just boosting productivity seems like that'd be the way to go, rather than adding another building.
You should go sit in the shed, boss.
I feel like we'd only need a little bit extra than that. Anyways, so with that in mind, how many motor assembly plants are needed then? So motors. Intermediate. Right, the demand is 7. Based on the 2 things that we have. Oh, yeah, I can't do the math right now. I don't know. I'll have to just speed up time. Wait until these reinforced concrete get here. Just build the buildings, then I'll work backwards. Just easier for me to do. What I will do, though, while we're waiting, is let's have a look in the item screen. Just see, is there anything that can help this? Because this is painful. I mean, certainly we could get an item that even lowers the consumption rate, perhaps. Residents gain bonus residence from having fans. So there's nothing else. Okay. So what about fan factory? Is there anything unique here? There we go. Fan factory. The alternate power matrix. Doesn't really help. Extra goods. This affects the chemical plant, film reels, and fan factory. It gives us back some pocket watches, penny. So we have this guy, obviously, but they've added in a few extra things that's affecting now. The chemical plants, the film reels. That's cool. Get some extra steam carriages out of this. Not a bad idea. Do we have him lying in wait anywhere? He's in swords, just sitting there. Okay, we could transfer him over. Get him here, no problem. Ram Devi. What about this? This affects it too. Productivity 40%, workforce needed reduced heavily. The cutting edge. A radical redesign that makes cutting both efficient and effortless. Effortless. Yeah, interesting. Hall of Mutualist Ideologies reduces workforce. Workforce I'm not too worried about. I mean, it's 150 per building. I'd rather reduce the workforce for the obreros for sure. Because seems like it's the thing that requires a lot more. Affects all production buildings. Yeah, let's just research this one, the cutting edge anyway. It affects chemical factories. It said, did it? Oh no. Damn. Sorry for taking so long. Yeah, let's just go to the research thing. Let's just get it queued up.
Capital.
Alright, have our ships arrived? No. Oh, they're here now. Yep, they're close. These three are packing lots of fruit, so we'll just deliver that in here.
Bring her around.
Alright, the reinforced concrete is here. Should be good to go for a while, though we might have to get even more thinking about it. So there's our 6. All the fans are in place now, fan production. Alright, just speed time back down. Okay, so with that in mind, now we can have a look properly at how many fans are we making. So let's just go fans. Globally, we're making 12. So yeah, we will need another one. We're actually under the number. So let's just get another one. That'll be more than enough now. Then we can go motors. Regular motors, intermediate, all islands. So we're going to need 17. We're producing 4. Jesus. That's crazy, man. Okay. Well, let's sort that out. So definitely we'll have to build it somewhere like this where they don't take the manpower. But the motor factory is huge. It's flippin' huge. Jeez. Alright. Let's start. Let's begin. Can this fit out here? No. Can it fit in sideways in here? Yes. This whole thing will need to move forward if we want it to work. They don't even have a road. No, they do. Alright, there you go. Perfect. So they're also getting the benefit of Ferris, not to forget. So that's good. Let's have a look at what we're at now, just by slamming them down like that. Hey, that's enough. 19 over 17. What would happen if I were to then turn off this one? Why don't you go back to yours? Instead of my business. Motor. We're still good. Oh, no, we're not. So something else is consuming motors somewhere. I wonder what. Let me just check the New World. 17 over 15. Oh, I remember. It's the Arctic guys, isn't it? The technicians out there, they want some motors. Can't blame them, I guess. So yeah, we'll have to keep that other one operational as well. Now, the next question is, okay. These guys need electric cables, celluloid, and steel. So, electric cables. Oh. Fuck off. I'm sorry. So, yeah, 17 is needed. We produce 4. Jeez. Alright, cable factory. Got a lot of obreros, though, working now for us.
We used up everything we had, except our imagination.
That is, yeah, we're hitting the, that's tough. Alright, cable factory then. Obreros again. So we do have 1,200 right now. So let me just see how many of these we're going to need. Just regular. No overclocking. Let's put down 3 there. That's 5 in total. So that's every 1 minute, and this is every 30 seconds. So you need twice as many. But we're... yeah. Oh, God. I'm, like, freaking out. This is, like, pretty bad. Cable factory is going to be rough. Really, really, really rough. I'll need to do that again, I think, for the items. Alright, so we'll just move these together. Yeah, let me just rotate them all sideways, actually. At least they fit a little bit better in there. Okay, so that's 6 plus the 2 we have, so we've got 8, I think. That's 8. They have their electricity. They don't have anything else boosting them. What does this trade union do, actually? New World chemical plants. Increases the amount of workforce you need, actually, but it changes it to make sure it uses artistas instead of obreros. That's kind of cool. Alrighty. I don't want to sound down about it. I love the challenge, but it's like, oh my god, it's just problems, isn't it? It's going to be problems for a while. Problems, problems. And so much. I thought I had so much space on this island. Now it's like, oh. Okay, let's check. Once I get the number right, then we can move them. We're at 15 under 17, so we'll need another 1, maybe 2. Or if we were to say, yeah, let's just go to this again. Let's say cables. Ferris gives you 50, doesn't he? So we'll definitely need him in here. Workforce is reduced 10% as well. So that'll be 50%. And that's electric cables. So we're at 27 over 15 now. So obviously we can turn off maybe 4 of them. Sorry for going in and out of this. I've just got to feel it out. Electric cables. There we go. 20 over 17. That seems like a pretty good number. Let's just lower one of them down again. Yes, 18 over 17. That's the number we're looking for. All right, we got it. So I won't need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these buildings. Wasted resources. Let's just trash them now. So we got 4, 5, and then 6, 7. So 7 in total was the number we needed if we boost them 50% with someone like Ferris in a trade union, which we can do. We have the tech. In fact, I actually think I have Ferris on this island. So, even though it's way out of the way, maybe we could just put him up somewhere else. We need to... The factory part of the island really does need to be over here, because this is where the hacienda would go, and that's for farming, or like, you know, down here and stuff. The terrain here is so awkward. This should be farms as well, I think. And the more our population builds here, the wider this radius gets for us. In fact, it's kind of weird, but yeah, they're just regular plantations. Yeah, I guess thinking about it, then you can actually move down. You could move down to about there or something in the future. Anyway, do I have room for a trade union even just here? Yeah, I do actually. There we go. Not hurting anyone's circle. But we're also not fitting everything in.
What brings you here?
So that building is just outside the range. So maybe if we did it the other way, it would fit. Okay, and then we grab those other 2. I look forward to trying to build this into a place that looks nice. It's going to be a real challenge because there's so many buildings that are going to be the same. Right, so let's go with Ferris again, if he's here. Is he not here? I seem to recall he was. Alright, this place is full, so just dump that stuff.
Let's go commencing.
Wow, this place is full as well. It's a good problem to have, I guess. Alright, these ships are empty again. Yeah, so I thought I brought Ferris over here. Is he... In between episodes, basically, there was 2 Ferris Alceramis sitting here. Now I'm just trying to see where they went. I only used 1. I guess I'll just look globally. I don't know. Thought I had him. So he's being used there. All islands. Where is he not being used? A large trading post in Crown Farms, actually. Oh, there you go. Maybe I got confused from before. Alright, so we'll just ship him over.
presents
All right,
here
he's
for
on the way.
Chioso.
Now, hey, it's the guy we were just looking at, Professor Ramdevi.
A thank
Cool.
you for all you've done.
Oh, no problem, Betsy.
Oh, really? You're as naughty as the children.
Yeah, so Ferris is going to go in there, we're going to get that 50% buff, and then we're free to put other things in there. Cable factory, right? So what else affects a cable factory? Cable factory. Ferris obviously is at the top. We have the all production buildings reduce their their workforce. This one gives another boost of 25%. Workforce reduced even further. Beckoning, Spirit of Liberty. All production buildings 35% with the Fortunate, allowing us to maybe remove one building and also put other things in here that might be good for us. There's one at Porta Banús that's not being used, so why not? Why not? You tell me when you get here, sir. Alright, let's get Ferris out of the airport and into the trade union. There we go. Well, we don't need to even click that. You can just do it from here. Boom. Alrighty, so now we can turn that off because it's the same thing. Alright, so base productivity 100, electricity 100, Ferris 50. Now, we got to go back even further and say there's multiple. Let's go back to the raw components though first and then work our way up. So here we are with electric cables. We need copper for that, and then we also need caoutchouc. Now, we make a lot of caoutchouc here, but with the amount we've just piled onto it, we probably don't make enough anymore. Caoutchouc is now 87 under 94. This is why I'd reserved space out this way, because it seemed likely we were going to use even more. And that's why I added a second fuel depot, because we just need so flippin' many of these things. It's getting redonkulous. Now, you're not even... You're taking up way more space. Yeah, so I gotta stop being so... Okay, here's what we gotta do then. Let's cut the modules of all of these, and let's tighten up that space a bit. You can just go into the very back. So it's 73. Because this hacienda covers all the way to the edge, so there's no reason we couldn't push these further back in as well, if we wanted to. And that makes just a little bit more space if we put them this way. Yeah, maybe even just doing that would be good. Okay.
The land has to be prepared.
Oh, the land is being prepared, don't you worry. It's actually really dark here. Can we brighten this up somehow? There we go. Get it to maybe 1600. There we go. You can see what we're working with. Okay. 91 out of 96. Just paste those ones in. Again, I think I'm going to go... Yeah, this vertical way of doing it is kind of nice. Alright, so... get rid of 2 of these modules. We'll move this forward just a little bit. Move this down. It's like a goddamn jigsaw. Alright. Now, they need a road ultimately to feed them their stuff. And maybe just get rid of a bit of area, module space here for the other farms that will need it. Okay. Looking a little bit more compact, a little bit more neat. I think I'm gonna... I just thought of a word. I'm gonna call the time-lapse I do at the end of this series, or well, once we've got a lot of production chains done, I'm gonna call them mega lapses, because there's gonna be... everything is just gonna be time-lapse then into making everything look a bit better. Like, even putting things down now, I'm just like working out, like, where are things gonna go later? But, again, it's industries like this that are so violently big that makes it really difficult. Alright, good. Now we're limited by how many of these we can feed with fuel as well, to a certain degree. Looking nice though, actually. Kind of cool. So this one has to go back to back with its buddy. Still fitting quite nicely this way. Right, and you get a road. So this one's lacking one module, stick it out there. Alright, cool. And then, do we have any more? Okay, so that's just everything moved into a bit more of a compact space. If we look over here at the hacienda, yeah, we still got room for plenty more. We can get at least 2 more in there.
One final look.
Yes, please.
It's no problem. Our
What was
typesetter
that, by the
will
way?
be here all night.
Ceramics crash causes concern. Does it really, though? That's going to lead to everyone, you know, I guess what's the word, like a panic buy. Everyone's going to be buying things 10% more everything because ceramics in Embasa. Okay. 85 for 96. Alright, let's just clean this up a bit. 93 out of 96, so 1, 2... Actually, you know what? Just do it properly. Let's not be lazy. We've got space to use in there. Okay. And there's roads connecting all of this, just making sure. Yep. Something like that might help as well. Missing goods. Don't worry, you'll get it. So there's a fuel depot right there, so they'll all get fed, no problem. There's another one down here that can feed this whole area too. Alright, so let's check our Kauchuk amount now, globally. We're still a tiny bit short. It looks like we need at least 1 more. Which we've got room for. We'll just put another one down. There you go. Easy as that. Were we within hacienda distance there? Yeah. I was thinking of putting some haciendas here and doing spices like people recommended. How many workers do these things take, by the way? It's only 10. It's totally fine. Alrighty. So that was for electric cables, this mess, this hodgepodge here, and that's to get the right amount of Kauchuk on the island. So that's good. Copper then would be the next thing. Now copper, I ultimately think I just bring in through Docklands. Wow, globally copper's only 25 tons per minute. That's really not that much. Really? Wow, I thought it was gonna be hundreds. That's not bad. So let me just check the trade route dealing with that then. Copper. So, Old World to Manola, I have a route that's delivering some of the ethanol, the copper, and the steel on 2 ships. So, I think they couldn't unload the ethanol. The copper is full down there. Yeah, okay, so the raw materials of maybe copper and steel can have their own routes. I'm just going to delete these, do these routes fresh. Let's just set up 3 individual routes. I think it's just better that way, because lots of stuff is needed. So, the old world. We want to go from Lusk to the new world to there. Let's start off with ethanol. I'm trying to remember why this is the way it is. Because it's made in a few different places. Let's not do ethanol first. I need to check on that. Let's do the other ones. So I know that steel is good to take from here. Alright, so yeah, there you go. Man, I really am messing that up now. Okay, funny. Nescafe. Sure, why not? Alright, so let's go New World to Old World, please. Import steel. And again, we'll just do the same, but this time with raw copper ore to the New World, to Manola. That needs a group. So that's New World to Old World. Okay. And there we go. That's 2 routes done. Right, let me check on that ethanol. So ethanol production. I think it's largely made in Cape Trelawney, but also made here in the New World. It's probably just made in a bunch of places. Right, it's 56 for 56. So Port of Banús, Manola, Crown Farms. Right. So I think it gets delivered to Lusk as a stopgap before it comes to the New World. But that doesn't really make any sense if we don't need it. Unless we need it in Lusk. I wouldn't have thought so. Some of these chemical plants might need it. I don't know. Yeah, they do. Okay, so they're using it. Okay, that's fair enough then. That makes a bit more sense why it's coming here. And then, yeah, because we're not... Okay, so what I need to do then, at the very least, to keep the ball rolling for ethanol production is... We said this earlier in the episode. Basically just need to make sure I'm removing beer from this place. So I'm just going to sell it. We're just going to sell the beer. An easy way to do that, actually, will be to set a reserve limit for beer. Of, I don't know, 500. And then I'm just going to tell a ship to constantly sell it to Old Nate. And I'm going to call the route temporary so I can just definitely see it. Because obviously this will be set up in the future to go to various islands. I just don't want to get into that now because there's just no point. So I'm just going to call this temporary. And it's not going to have a group, so I can always see it. So there you go. So now, when we're taking away all that beer, that's going to allow for... Actually, you know what? You need to be also removing schnapps. There we go. It didn't do it yet, so we got away with it. Where is this ship, by the way? Oh my god, it's in Manola. Maybe a different ship.
Room for maneuver.
It's got, one of my pet peeves is having to transition to the particular session, and then when you click here and you click ships, then you can actually filter by that session. You can't do it if you're in a different one. Yeah, whatever. this ship is fine. Alright, cool. So now that a ship is here, they're just going to start picking that stuff up. Ethanol should get rolling again automatically, I think, to the Old World. So, Cape to Old World, ethanol production. Now we've got 2 ships that are doing it. Almost tempted to tell you to wait. I am going to do it. Don't discard. Wait to go there, and then deliver it. So they're going to be waiting here at one of these piers. Just keep the piers like super active so they don't get backed up. They shouldn't do. Alright, so that means that ethanol production will get rolling again. It won't get slowed down, and that's going to cause a knock-on effect to eventually go to the New World. So that's fine. And then we've enough steel. Steel is totally fine, I think. I'll just triple check, but should be. Yeah, 92 over 68. Not too much that we can actually sell in Docklands. That used to be one of my main components I sold. We'll have to rethink that. But we are making more than we need, and it'll be getting delivered here. So that's electric cables then done, right? We have enough caoutchouc, we have enough copper. So that's electric cables. Then they needed steel, the cables, and then they need celluloid. So celluloid is the next thing then to get to our motors. Once we get to motors, then we're making fans, right? Where the hell did I do that? Oh yeah. The fans need aluminum profiles. Okay, so the only 2 things left then would be celluloid. So let's figure that out. So that's cotton. Oh my god, it just doesn't end. It doesn't end. Jesus Christ. I thought it was like one thing. It's like 3 things need to go down. So we have the ethanol, so that's fine. The camphor wax, we'll find out. So how much celluloid do we need now? 21, and we make 8 already. We make 8 with just how many on the island? 2 chemical plants on the island doing celluloid. Where the hell's the other one? One's down there. Alright, I'm just gonna keep these together so I know where they are. That's 16. We need 20. Another one then. Alright, that's 20. We produced just slightly more than we need. Holy crap. We've got a bunch on this island, but they're all turned off. Except for... Nope, they're all off. And they're taking in camphor wax. Okay. None on this island. Any on this one? Nope, we make chewing gum on that one. Celluloid. And do you make celluloid in the old world? Some part of me says yes. Or is it just used? Oh no, it's the resident lacquer. That's what it is. That's what's got me confused. Alright. Alright. I see what you're doing. Let me just do this for a second. Alrighty. Celluloid it is. Right, so that's the amount of buildings we need. We could be cheeky and throw one extra down. Although I think, again, for this kind of thing, some sort of trade union is going to be needed. Bit too much on the obreros. So, we'll probably need more obreros. Which I think I can do relatively easily. In fact, let's just get the ball rolling on that, because we're going to need more. So at least when they need stuff now, we can check on it. We haven't got to that tier of residence yet. That was the whole point.
A fire broke out.
But it doesn't mean we need more and more people. So get in there. You'll be fine. Oh my god. This definitely needs a redesign in terms of a... One reason I'm kind of... So I'm, for a little behind the scenes, I'm going away pretty soon. I'm trying to get a few episodes banked before I leave. Oh, I'm not even going away. I have people coming over. And then once that's done, then I can finally do some time lapses again. But like I said, they're kind of temporary. But it would be good just to even fill the gaps of all these places I'm making when I'm being so like flippant and quick with it. But it's all necessary. Hey, look, we're up to under 53,000. So as much as I feel like I get a little bogged down here, we are gaining across the board, which is good to see. In fact, I would like to just check on that perfume now. Now that it's probably like long been delivered, yeah, we've got tons of tourists now, more than we need. Which means I can boost this, which gives me more residents everywhere, which means demands increase. But hey, I should be able to bring that up to 5,000. It just depends on a few things. I used to be able to.
Hear the drums of war, isn't it?
So the fact that these can go even higher, yeah, they're lacking their shampoo now. 100 tourists per building if you get shampoo. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, they got their perfumes. That's 26 people. They need their bombing hats, their ice cream, their mezcal. Feels good though, man. We do have perfume. Alright, let's just head back. I think I can get this still to get it done. We're pretty close. So that's celluloid. Cotton, camphor. That's the next two things. So cotton and camphor. Camphor I already made too much of. We're at 42 over 44 now. Now I think camphor already gets delivered here. It actually doesn't. New world to old world. It's leaving this place from a place that probably doesn't have any. Thinking about it. Yeah. So I'll just change this to here. Alright, there you go. So loading at Manola, unloading at Lusk. So camphor wax, same thing. Alright, there we go. So that's a nice and easy quick fix. Camphor import from Cape to Old World. Yep, that's fine. Alright, so we need a camphor collection route. And if that's the case, I need to check on where we actually make it. So camphor, all islands, Marbella, and Manola itself. Alright, easy enough. This is the island of Marbella. These are all being switched to camphor. Or at least a lot of them. There's still citrus here, which I actually don't think I need as much of this. So maybe just to boost those numbers to get them correct. Yeah, let me check citrus. Ooh, it's tight. It is tight. They're both pretty tight. Alright. We'll just have to throw down one extra orchard then back on Manola, I think. Okay, so if it's coming from Marbella, a camphor collection route, let's go. Trade routes, Marbella up to here. Load it. Camphor. Boom. And I do also have the other smaller islands that we haven't really tapped yet for orchards. They're extra space. So that's still an option. New Worlds. Yep. And it's Camphor delivery. Camphor. Good. Hopefully that journey doesn't take too long for the amount that you need to deliver. If it does, we could always just add on more ships. I forgot as well, we could actually build Yornaleras on other islands. We have the commuter piers now. Forgot about that. It would be nice to fill this whole little peninsula out. That might be kind of cool. I love this island because it's just, I've used every little grid space that I could. Pretty much every one of them. One thing is though, the trees that I've decorated in between the coconut now that I've switched to coconut, they're the wrong type of tree. So I'd have to go back over it with the, coconut grove. And that way it'll all look the same. I'll do that in a time lapse, I think. Because you wouldn't be able to see. It'll take a while to grow back anyway. Okay, they're full output. You know what? Let's just set up a little trade route, shall we? And just deliver it. No one's gonna know. Don't tell anyone that it's not fully done from top to bottom just yet. Let's just deliver it. And just set them up with their fans. There you go. I'm speaking so quietly, I don't even know if the mic can pick me up at this volume. But I kind of hope that it can't. So new world to old world. Alright. And now we're just going to put on the correct name. This is an export. Fans. And that's it. Away you go. Alright, and then we set up the other trade route here to do Lusk to swords. Doing the same thing. Because they ultimately have to go to Cape Trelawney as well. Having investors in Cape Trelawney is like the most painful thing for me. If I just kept it all on one island, it would be a lot easier. Yeah, let's go with idle ships in the old world if we can find any. Surprisingly, there are none, so just whatever. One of you guys can go over now. Alright, we'll keep this to the old world, and we'll just say... Delivery, fans. Got him. Now fans, I wonder how much is it really being consumed? Not there, but swords, for instance.
This city's
Wow,
a magnet
it's actually 11
for
tons per minute.
genius.
I thought it was going to be much lower than that. I feel like scholars use fans. Let's find out if I'm correct in that theory.
Here like fresh notebook.
Well, it smells because you don't have your fans. Gotta keep cool. They do need it, actually. And they also need the film reels. It's funny, the scholars have fallen so low, they don't even really utilize radio towers anymore because they're not getting what they need. So we have to... Gotta boost these numbers up. They've fallen quite far down below where they need to be. Which is interesting that I have more people than I've ever had before. But yeah, certain pockets of residents don't even have some of their basic needs. Okay, so that'll be fans. We're almost done with it. The last thing so that's celluloid. Camphor wax needs one more orchard. So again, we'll be lazy AF with this. If I can just find a spot anywhere. 100% it says. It hurts the wood. But screw it. We don't need to be making wood. We can just import that. Alright, let's switch this to camphor. And that should be us golden. That'll be all we need to get it to the level it needs. And then the very, very final thing then for this whole thing was... Well, I'm not going to look at aluminum profiles. Life is too short. But that was celluloid. And then what's the other stuff? Cotton. That was it. Cotton. Oh my god. 74 over 74. But we're slightly short. We're just slightly short. Now Marbella. We make cotton in a few places, don't we? Didn't we make it down here, I thought, no? That's sugarcane. So we get it as a byproduct from another item. Do we? This is sugarcane. Why did it direct me here? Sugarcane plantation makes cotton. How? Alright, so... Oh, there you are. Mrs. Brown the cultivator. Well, we have cotton fertility on the island. We just don't have any workers. Oh, you know what? If we fix the Ornalera workforce, that cotton number probably comes up. I reckon just because it's low now, our efficiencies have fallen, haven't they? It just says processing, no production, just because we're totally full. I'll just wait until it kicks into gear again. Any second now. There we go. Base productivity 91. Yeah, I reckon we actually have enough. I know it's a little cheating, but it's like we just need to fix the Yornlera workforce. As if that's easy. Alright, well that's an easy problem. But it's a problem for another day. I'm just going to write that one down as well. Yornaleros. I think I'll see that as soon as I log into the game again. 420 we're lacking. Good to see that they don't, it doesn't bother them. This building just works autonomously. No workers at all. Whoever's in here is doing all the work. This robot and Ferris is somehow boosting the robot. And then someone's ringing a bell. So that's what's happening in there. And that's fine. Is that it then? So then it's just the aluminum profiles, which like I said, I don't really want to deal with. But we've got a lot of foundries, so how does that work? 19 under 26. So that's the one I'm going to have to leave by the wayside, unfortunately. And it's Obreros. You can sneak a couple more in. That's fine, right? Just totally looks great. And then it's coal and bauxite. How much bauxite do you need globally? We can get more. There's plenty of it around on this island. We're not tapping it at all. And then coal. Yeah, coal we bring in through Docklands, so that's done already. Alright, that'll basically be it. So the only thing left to do then would be to say, like, get your bauxite. There's 2 mines here that are not being tapped yet. It's 220 Obreros, or Yornleros. Totally fine. Don't worry about that. That's fine. That's easily solved. We're getting through it. 153,000 population. Next tier is at 160,000. We get more influence. Not that we really need it. We could just kind of do what we need to get that influence. All right. I think I'm going to have to call it there. Super messy, but I'm very glad. Perfume was super simple. I'm glad the Cowchuck is now looking a bit better. We then figured out how to get hot sauce delivered to people without even having to do anything, which was cool. And then this was just a hell on earth. The motors, the cables, all so that people can push air in their face. That's what this was all for. But it does mean that given a little bit of time, fans will trickle their way down here. I'd like to see that if possible. How long will that take really? It'll be up to this ship to do it. And it'll be up to the other ship to make the journey first with these ones, right? So they're full up, and they're on the way. The mackerel too. There it is. So it's right there. I love actually looking at the screen. I was looking at it a while ago. Time was just playing, and I was just seeing all of the reefers overtake the cargo ships, which is quite cool. They don't overtake them that much. They just typically go a little faster, like this one right here. It's like, see you later. This has a propeller on it. So that's the reason, you know? That's the reason. Because it gets there faster. I know it can only have 1 item slot, but it's cool, isn't it? There's something cool about it. Oh, this is a propeller too. That's probably why. There's something cool about it. Just seeing the reefers being the ones that operate here mostly. And the big ships. The Great Easterns and stuff. Love it. Alright, so. How are we for delivering those fans? Oh, I like this music. It's a good one to end on. There we go. We have 300. Let's just follow it. We've got to follow the last journey. I'm going to sit back and relax. For those interested on my little holiday, it's only about a week, and I've got some friends coming over from the US. But then, after a few days, we're going to Rome for 3 days. Never been. I'm a kind of a Roman history fan. I mean, I am. I'm not really someone that's in love with all aspects of Roman history. I like the late Republican era, basically when they transition to an empire. But once you get into the empire and it's all like emperors and stuff, me personally, I just have no knowledge or interest in that era. I don't know why, but sort of the generation behind Julius Caesar and the generation of his generation and then the one after, I find just super fascinating because it's really when they just expanded like loads. The political system sort of failed. The armies became allied to their generals. And then it's like really the turn of a republic into an empire. It's just quite an interesting thing for me anyway. I love a lot of that stuff. So it'll be super fun to go and see. Just generally, obviously, experience the city and stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I can report back after this episode. The next one after this one should be when I'm back, but I don't know how long it'll be. I feel like there'll probably be a few days gaps between these. The nifty mole. And look at Benti, she's thriving. Absolutely thriving. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be in Italy for 3 days. I'd like to go for longer in future, but it should be nice just to go for a few days. My friends will be coming over from the US, so for them it'll be exciting, I think, as well. Alright, we're almost there. It's nice to see. With Docklands, like, I've really boosted the loading and unloading speed. Even a lot of ships I've told just to wait. This one's told to wait until it's full of gas. But obviously with so many slots, you're totally fine to do that. Something I never checked, actually, is do we have... Yeah. Oh my god, my sand. Oh no, it's not sand. What am I saying? It's the fur. I didn't even realize that. They must have caught fire and fur production stopped for a while. Alright, so... Oh no. This often happens. They go into a spiral. I'm still trying to find out exactly why that happens, but... They fall... I think it's because they fall below 4,000, which locks off the Iron Tower giving population, which means they fall even further, and it just keeps falling from there. But they still have perfume and other things. They must have just run out of something. Oh, one of the restaurants looks like they went offline. Okay.
Slick work.
Alright, how we doing? You've got your fans. That's 10 extra investors per household. Feels good, man. That's going to boost our scholars a little bit, too. 5 extra scholars per household, which means they might boost themselves. Oh, they're pretty close. They're about 150 away from having the radio towers take effect again. But yeah, canned food is a big issue. They'll give them 20, and then 22 for the seafood stew, which I think we do produce. I just don't deliver. Anyway, it's all a problem for another day. I'll be so glad when we're done with investors, because every other production chain after that becomes easier. Even the lifestyle needs for a lot of these things. It's like, oh, it's ice cream and mezcal. It's just never ever going to be as difficult as the film reels, which I believe require a lot of celluloid as well, I think. So that's another problem. We're going to need even more camphor cotton and stuff for that last one. But it looks good, right? We're getting there. It will feel really nice once it's all done. And then I can get to work on what did I call it? The mega laps. All right. That's going to be it for me. Hope everybody is having a great time out there doing whatever you're doing. I appreciate all the support so deep into this series, especially since it's become trade route hell. And yeah, I just want to say thanks for everything. Alright, that's going to be it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. Consider liking it if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and if you want to support even further, consider becoming a channel member. Channel members get early access to my videos, ad-free, and also access to my Discord, where we've just set up a new Valheim and Satisfactory server for people to play on. Hopefully we can grow a community and add more games and perks in the future. Either way, I appreciate people just watching this far into the video. Thank you.